You can start the open at 3 minutes. Live from the Headland Memorial Skating Rink here in New Bedford, Dartmouth Community Media is proud to present Dartmouth High School Ice Hockey. Today, the Dartmouth Indians take on the Old Rochester Regional Bulldogs for the second time this season. The Indians coming in at 5-3-1. Old Rochester coming in at 3-4-2. I'm Paul Santos as usual. Glad to have you looking in. A special shout out to any parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends of the family who are looking in on the game today, not only around here, but around the country. If grandparents live elsewhere, it's great that we're able to bring these games to you here on Dartmouth Community Media. Today, there is a little bit of a loosening of the rules. Each player on the ice is able to have two parents in the building. Can't be aunts, uncles, or anything like that. It has to be just parents, no siblings or anything like that. So there are some parents over here to our left. We're glad to see that. You see they're kind of sparsely populated here and doing some good old-fashioned social distancing. But it's good that they're in the building, and it's good that folks are able to watch the game here on Dartmouth Community Media. A lot of the parents have said that they've enjoyed that when they couldn't get into the building. And there's Mike Capello, 22 years as the head coach here for the Dartmouth Indians. And you see Coach Martin assisting him, along with Coach Matt Grieve, Tyler Martin, and Andrew Medeiros, in addition to Brian Rose and Derek Martin. And the coach told me 8 years before that as an assistant. So when you put it all together, 30 years with the Dartmouth program. You know, tonight we're going to see two goalies. We're going to see Ashton Machado. You see him there. He's a freshman. He played in the last game. And I was impressed with him. You know, he shut out the Durfee Hilltoppers. And although Dartmouth carried the play, and, you know, they had a lot of younger JV players in there, he made the stops that he had to make, and he made some big ones, especially when Durfee was on the power play. So he's going to get the start today. J.P. Kearney, the senior, will play the second half of the game. Last time these two teams met, the Indians won the game 7-1, but I think that score is a little deceiving because Dartmouth only had a 2-0 lead after two, and Dartmouth only had a 3-1 lead midway through the third period. And then all of a sudden, once the Indians broke it open, I think Old Rochester became deflated. You see them there, and then all of a sudden they fell apart. And then that potent Indian offense just cut loose, and the pucks were going into the net one after the other. We do have the starting lineup. So today you see the Indians there on the forward line. It's going to be Reed Martin centering Nick Howarth and J.C. Freites, one of the more potent offensive lines in the area. Kyle Charbonneau and Sam Caniff, two solid defensemen. Great experience with Charbonneau and Caniff. They're the starting pair today. Second line, John Camacho centering Joey Pacheco and Cullen Larrabee. Josh Nelson and Luke Caniff on defense. And then the third and fourth lines is going to be Andrade, Bichot, and Camisa, Moniz, Copoletti, and Charrier. And on defense, Lima, Kearney, and Anderson. And as we said, J.P. Kearney, the senior, splitting duties here with the freshman goaltender, Ashton Machado. Teams are lining up at their respective blue lines. We'll have the drop of the puck in a moment. And as we said, Old Rochester, usually an opponent that plays the Indians tough, but Dartmouth was able to blow it open that last time, 7-1, but not until midway through the third period. And now our national anthem. This Dartmouth Indian program coming on strong really over the last, 10 years or so. A lot more kids coming out. I can remember some years where the Indians had just about as many skaters as you need to put a team out there. But the hockey program has picked up over the last few years, and last year making it all the way to the South Sectional Finals for the first time really in like 30 years. They got that far. And if it wasn't for like a strange bounce, there really was a goal that the Indians had. And puck went over the line, but the officials couldn't see it. We had it here on Dartmouth Community Media, and that really cost them the game. So it was one of those fluky things. But the program has really come on. The team is really good this year. It's too bad that we don't have the state tournament, because I think both Dartmouth and even Stang, they were going to be tough teams in the tournament. But next year, I was looking at the roster, the Indians are losing some top talent, but they have a lot of talent coming back too. So we'll see what happens as Sam Caniff fires it in. In net there for Old Rochester is Tom Galavati. Indians on the forecheck already. Indians have had some great territorial play, certainly in that Durfee game. The Indians were all over them. Now from the circle, Indians looking to move it out in front. Couldn't do it. Here's Reed Martin centering that top line. Sam Caniff, the senior defenseman, plays it down to Freites. Freites in the right wing corner. Plays it back to the point. Here's Charbonneau. Charbonneau slides it down, right wing corner. The Indians fight to keep it in. Couldn't do it, and now it's collected here by Reed Martin. Back to Sam Caniff. Now to Charbonneau. Great defensive pairing there with Caniff and Charbonneau, and they both have offensive power as both Caniff and Charbonneau have put the puck in the net a number of times here in our DCTV telecast. Kyle Charbonneau with 2 goals in one of those games, and Sam Caniff blasting one in from the point with an assist from his brother, which is always nice. This is Cullen Larrabee going back behind his own net. Puck losing an edge there is Nelson, but what a recovery as he banks it out to center ice. Alec Marsden now for Old Rochester. Brings it down in on goaltender Aston Machado. Aston Machado putting up a goose egg against Durfee, and even though Dartmouth carried the play in that game and Durfee's goaltender Opera was standing on his head at the other end of the rink, there was a couple of flurries that Durfee had in front of Machado, and Machado, he really played the angles well. He wasn't afraid to come out of the net. Here's a wrist shot through, saved by Machado. Machado comes out to cut down the angle as he gets the stop on Alec Marsden. Machado almost looked like Tim Thomas. He coming out of the net and was really aggressive, and I like that style. There's a big hit on the boards delivered by John Gamarsh as he just lays out Michael Tobin. Excuse me, that was Lucas Long. Now a long pass up ahead. Here's Cullen Larrabee. Hard into the right wing corner. Makes a nice stop and turn, and he'll play it down deep. Centering pass, blocked in front. Loose puck. Kai Andred couldn't get the shot off. A turnaround shot that time by Camisa is blocked out in front. Now a counterattack here for Old Rochester. Here's Govin. Stopped at center ice by Camisa. Camisa with a goal in the last game, the only goal that we had against Durfee that night. Puck bounces in front of the Old Rochester net. Alec Marsden banks it down. Is it going to be enough for icing? No. Down deep for Old Rochester is Brady Beacott. Stopped here. Back comes Camisa. Charlie Camisa looking for Kai Andrade. He kind of lost an edge as well. The Indians change up. No icing as the puck goes wide of Machado. Here comes Charbonneau. Up to J.C. Freites. It goes too far ahead, and it's going to be icing against the Indians, and it'll be a face-off in the Dartmouth Indian end. Paul Santos, glad to have you looking in here on Dartmouth Community Media Live. Very happy to have brought you these games as we look at Tom Galavati, the junior goaltender between the pipes for Old Rochester. Back to the point it goes. Shot through, blocked in front, bouncing puck. Machado makes the stop. And Machado had to be alert on that one. It looked like Brady Beacott, the senior, tried to get a deflect in front. And there's Machado making the save. Machado just a freshman. Looks like he will be inheriting the goaltender duties next year with the graduation of J.P. Kearney, who stepped in there last year and was just terrific in the playoffs. 2-on-1 break. There's Howarth out in front. Score! J.C. Freites. 1-0 Dartmouth. Freites from Howarth on a beautiful centering pass. Here comes Howarth down the left wing on a 2-on-1 break. And Howarth waited till the last second. That was the key, waiting till the last second before he got that puck to Freites. And the fact that he waited, he didn't, center it too early, made it almost impossible for Galavati to make that save. So very early on, the Indians out to a 1-0 lead. I think they're glad to get the early lead because the first time they played Old Rochester, it felt like it was 0-0 forever. And then it was only 2-0 at the end of 2. The Indians already exploding here with a goal just over 4 minutes into the game. Hard in the corner, the Indians centering pass. That's Cullen Larrabee working to get it out into the goalmouth area. Gamache tried to keep it in. Chance here now for Old Rochester. Shot saved by Machado off the stick of Ben Austin. Once again, Machado comes out of the net aggressively to make the stop. Back the other way, Old Rochester can't connect. Luke Caniff, younger brother of Sam Caniff. Centering pass, loose in the slot, loose puck, save on Moniz by Galavati. Moniz right there to get the shot on. And the save is made, and here's Durfee. Got to remember that puck is iced. I've called a lot of Durfee games over the years and players that are from Fall River, and of course, the surname is pronounced Moniz in Fall River and Moniz in New Bedford. And get a look at young goaltender Aston Machado. I like the way he plays. I do. Like that coming out to cut down the angle. And J.P. Kearney, he has been fantastic too. As that shot by James Sharia goes high and wide. Right off the faceoff. Sharia ripped one. Looking to go top shelf. Capellotti. Can't connect. Chase Couture for Old Rochester to center ice. Jamison Lima. Cross to Charbonneau. Charbonneau into the offensive end. Old Rochester stolen. Here's Capellotti. Saved by the goaltender Galavati, and he's going to hang on with the glove. As Capellotti tried to go short side, and it was really the only place he could go. And Galavati, knowing that he had the angle, just stayed up against that post and got the glove on it. So a face-off to the left of goaltender Galavati. Freites couldn't get it. Old Rochester looking to backhand it out. Centering pass right across the crease. Nelson unable to keep it in, and it's Godwin for Old Rochester. Ben Austin. Back deep for Old Rochester. Puck hurled around the near side as Nelson is aggressive to keep it in as he pinches in the right point. Reed Martin backs him up. Freites gets hit. Battles. Tries to throw it out in front, and it went right through the goal mouth. And Old Rochester moves it out. Here's Govin. Govin slides it in. And if you're Old Rochester, you really got to play a lot of dump and chase here because the Indians outskill them. Now in front of the net, a chance. Saved by Machado. Backhander by Govin, and Machado makes the save. Puck is iced here by the Indians, and it's going to be a face-off in the Dartmouth Indian end. And now we have pushing and shoving here between Freites and Michael Tobin. Machado playing the angle, and, there are different ways to play, but Machado likes to come out right here. Look at him. He's at the top of his crease. He knows that the offensive player, in that case Govin, didn't have time to deke around him, so he came out, took away the angle, and basically smothered any chance that Govin had. Back to the point. Indians looking to move it out. Puck slid down here by Charles Camisa. Kai Andrade goes hard behind the net. Only a freshman and a terrific player. Now Charbonneau blasts one. Bouncing puck to the slot. And they couldn't get it on Galavati, and now it slides in on Galavati. John Bicho looking to move the puck over to Galavati. Galavati just put the glove on it. So 8:15 to go here in the first. 1-0 in favor of the Dartmouth Indians. Dartmouth Indian bench. Mike Capello, 22 years at the helm for the Dartmouth Indians. Enjoyed my dealings with Mike Capello, not only, doing the games here on Dartmouth Community Media. Started doing the games when my kids were like 8, 10 years old. The puck goes through the crease. Next thing you know, my kids were playing for Coach Capello. And then they've long graduated. So puck is iced. I've had the pleasure of dealing with Coach Capello, not only as a member of Dartmouth Community Media, but also as a parent and a real good teacher, real knowledgeable about the game of hockey, and a real class act and a real gentleman, head coach Mike Capello. Face off now to the right of goaltender Thomas Gallavati. Back to the point. Andrade down to the circle. Knocked down that time was Cullen Larrabee. I think, you get the same coach for a long time. I think that helps too. Get some continuity. Like, for example, Coach Rick White, he's been there for a while. Now the puck going near the goaltender. Centering pass too far ahead of Nelson. He's going to have to go back to get it. Nelson spins. Long pass up through the neutral zone. Here's Cullen Larrabee. There's a shot wide off the stick of Joey Pacheco. Right wing corner. They try to make a play out in front. Reed Martin plays it back to Lima. Lima with a shot. Glove saved by Gallavati. Jamison Lima let that one rip, and Gallavati made the stop. Gallavati started to go down into the butterfly. You see him there, the junior goaltender, and Jamison Lima was thinking maybe he could get that one under the crossbar on the glove side, but Gallavati was fanned out. He had his glove up there, and he made the save. So a good save by Gallavati. Indians carrying territorially. Here is Howarth deking into the offensive end. Chris Garvin hoping to move it out for Old Rochester. Can't do it. Here's Freites. Tries to cut to the middle. Old Rochester moves it out to the neutral zone. Here's Brady Beacott. Flips it in wide of Machado. Howarth trying to go back to get it. Delayed offside as the puck was outside the blue line. Luke Caniff. Freites. Long pass. Howarth. Howarth across. Bounces over the stick of Freites. Luke Caniff. Now Freites across. Caniff. Now Freites. He scores! J.C. Freites with 6:16 to go in the second. Makes it 2-0. Some great passing by that line in the offensive end. And eventually it came to Freites in a deadly spot right between the circles. Here's Freites making it happen. Gets it across to Howarth. And then it went back to Freites. So you're probably going to end up with a Howarth assist. So it's 2-0 in favor of the Indians. The Indians taking control of this game very early. Moniz right wing corner. Capellotti. Back to Kyle Charbonneau. Hops over his stick. Capellotti. Now it's Nelson. Nelson almost was pickpocketed. Nelson up to the neutral zone as Evan Moniz is checked at center ice. Now Old Rochester with a break. Puck slides off the stick of the forward, and it's Charbonneau. Up ahead looking for Nelson. Moniz back to help. Ben Austin for Old Rochester, and the puck is tied up along the boards, and a faceoff will be coming up. That's one thing about the pandemic. The officials are encouraged to call a timeout if the puck is tied up against the boards. That's the way it used to be in old-time hockey. Anytime the puck was tied up along the boards, they call a faceoff. Now they just say, keep it going, keep it going. They just let the players dig it out. Off the faceoff. Shot goes high and wide. Old Rochester has very rarely had the puck down here in the offensive end. Charlie Camisa behind the net. Camisa dangling. Caniff. Wrist shot through a screen. Score! Sam Caniff from the point. And the Indians are blowing it open here in the first period at 3-0. Sam Caniff. He had a chance to get that shot off from the left point. And he let a nice hard wrist shot go. And he went right past goaltender Gallavati, who may have been screened a little bit in front. Very seasoned veteran there. Sam Caniff from the Caniff brother combination. The Indians treating this game much differently than the last time they played against Old Rochester. I mean, that's just the way the game can go sometimes. But like I said, in the last game, it was 2-0 after 2, and it was 3-1 midway through the third. Like Old Rochester was still hanging in there before the Indians appear to be in great control as Reed. Oh, excuse me, that was number 21, John Gamache, who leveled the Old Rochester player. And the official is going to call an elbow. First, it looked like clean contact, but then I really didn't see how high the elbow was, but the official thought the elbow was up. And John Gamache, the senior forward, will be in the penalty box, and a chance here for Old Rochester to try to get back in the game on the power play. There's Gamache in the box. Indians got their penalty killers out there, but they're also snipers. Now from the point. Couldn't get the shot off. And they're going to have to go back to get it. Have to be careful because the Indians are so capable of a short-handed goal with the troops that they have out there. Here's Govin. Taken away. Freights slides it all the way down on Galavati. Mentioned a few times that the penalties used to be a minute 30 for years and years. And then, I don't know, maybe 2-3 years ago, they changed it to 2-minute penalties. So the special teams have become even more important. Because when it was a minute 30, it went by so quickly. Now teams actually have a chance to set up on their power play as Galavati went to stick it to the boards and went up onto the netting. So a faceoff will be coming up. 1:17 left on the power play. We get a look at Howarth. The sniper Nick Howarth he's a junior. He played his freshman year for Bishop Stang, and I saw her in the roster. And there's another Dartmouth guy on Stang. There aren't too many of them, but there's a few of them. And then the following, and I thought he was a great player. And then sophomore year, I saw him on Dartmouth. And, of course, we're doing the games from the Dartmouth point of view. I thought, well, great. That's a steal. Jameson Lima ready to blast it around the boards. Kept in. Great shot. And he got a piece of it. Brady Beacock got the shot off, and Machado got a piece of it. And the puck is flipped out by Charbonneau. So far, Machado is putting up zeros. I don't want to speak too soon. 45 seconds left on the power play. Through the neutral zone. Howarth leaves it. Freights. Follow up by Howarth. Howarth into the offensive zone. He's 1 against 4, but he's still in control of the puck. Finally checked. And Old Rochester moves it out. Into the offensive end comes Couture, but he's checked, and it's played back down into the Old Rochester zone. No icing, and we have only 15 seconds left on the Old Rochester power play. Only had that one shot, really, on Machado, and Machado made the save. Here comes Freights. Freights with Martin to Martin. Checked at the last second. Charbonneau at the circle. Down behind the net. Penalty is over. Alec Marsden loses it to Martin. Martin back to Charbonneau. Charbonneau across. Hops over the stick of Caniff. Old Rochester can't clear. 2 minutes left in the first period. Dartmouth all over Old Rochester. Moniz loses an edge. Old Rochester out through the neutral zone. Old Rochester making it all the way to the state championship a couple of years ago. Ben Austin banks it up on the wing. Capillotti. Stop. Here's a chance for Old Rochester. Wrist shot through. Saved by Machado. Another shot. Bounces around, and that was Jake Drew getting the shot off. One of the best shots on net by Old Rochester, even though it's from the point. Capillotti. Saved by the goaltender, Galavati. Galavati got down into the butterfly. Closed up the 5-hole at the last second. Now out of the corner. Dartmouth looking to make a move. James Charrier. It's in the slot. It's loose. Chris Govin comes back now for Old Rochester. 1:15 left in the period. Govin plays it down deep as Old Rochester changes up. Josh Nelson to Sam Caniff. Back to Nelson. Plays it back to Caniff. Caniff will flip it out to the center ice area. Stopped here by Spencer. Under a minute to go in the period. Spencer takes the hit from Nelson. Sam Caniff behind his own net. Through the neutral zone. Charrier up ahead looking for Moniz. Back the other way comes Old Rochester. Here is Spencer. Into the corner goes Charles Couture against Josh Nelson. Also down there is John Bicho for the Indians. Kai Andrade now moving it out. Andrade through center ice. Pickpocketed there by Lucas Long. But the Indians get it back in their own end. There's Josh Nelson. 20 seconds left in the period. Now a chance for Old Rochester. Bicho on the back check. Stopped. Skated back the other way. Here comes Komisa. Hops over the stick of Kai Andrade. 8 seconds left in the period. In the center ice area. I don't think we're going to get any more offensive opportunities. And the buzzer sounds, ending period number 1. So the Dartmouth Indians in complete control. The first goal scored by J.C. Freitz from Nick Howarth to make it 1-0. Then Freitz again from Howarth with 6:16 to go in the period. And then Sam Caniff blasts one from the point, beating the goaltender to make it 3-0 Dartmouth. And some great saves in net there by freshman goaltender Ashton Machado. Coach Capello telling me before the game that Machado was going to start, and then J.P. Kearney, the senior, was going to play the second half of the game. At the end of one, it is Dartmouth 3 and Old Rochester 0. This is live coverage of Dartmouth High School hockey, and we'll pick it up with the second period in a moment right here on Dartmouth Community Media. We are moments away from second period action here at the Headland Memorial Skating Rink. Paul Santos along with you for the ride today. Dartmouth Community Media, Dartmouth leading 3-0. Coach Capello looking very happy. You see that the players and coaches must wear masks when they're on the bench. And they actually get dressed right over here in the stands. So the players, the coaches, they're all doing everything they can to follow the rules of the pandemic. Today we do have some Dartmouth fans. Each player allowed to have 2 parents. No brothers, no sisters, no aunts, uncles, cousins, nothing else, just parents. And you see them there socially distancing, kind of spread out. Have to ignore that Bishop saying ice hockey banner there. In first period, Nick Howarth with a couple of goals, both assisted by J.C. Freights. First one with 11:26 to go, the second one with 6:16 to go. And then the third goal of the period was Sam Caniff letting one go from the blue line. And it went right through a screen and into the back of the net. And Dartmouth leads 3-0. We mentioned before the first time these two teams played, it was a Dartmouth 7-1 win. So we're fully expecting the Indians to have a good game today. But that first game, it was kind of a strange one where Dartmouth only led 2-0 after 2, and it was even 3-1 midway through the third before the Indians' avalanche of offense took over. So we're underway. A shout out to any of the parents who are unable to come and other family members who are watching here, not only in our area, but we understand in other areas of the country, Florida or wherever grandparents happen to be. That pass is too far ahead, and it's going to be icing against Dartmouth. It's one of the things that's unique here about this situation. We're obviously not happy like everyone is about the pandemic. It's been all negative. But one minor consolation is we started doing the games live here, and it's enabled family members who don't live in the area to come on in and see the games as they're happening, which is a lot of fun. We've heard a lot of positive comments from parents who have made that point that if they couldn't come to the game, that they could just watch it, and other family members around the area. So thank you for watching. We're happy to bring you these games, and we're always trying to improve and make the product as solid as we can. We got it in high definition too, which is nice. So here's Caniff, wing to wing, off the stick of Howarth. Behind the net, Old Rochester looking to move it out of their own end. Machado was still in net for the Indians. I think Coach Capello said they were going to split duty, so you might see if there's a timeout in the middle of it, they'll switch. Howarth with a blast. And a save that time by Galavati. I think Galavati went down in the butterfly and just hope for the best, because that shot had a lot of speed on it as Howarth goes to the bench. A lot of times you'll see a fake slap shot, maybe a wrist shot or something else, but Howarth just decided to let it rip. And for a second, I think the goaltender there, Galavati, just wanted the butterfly, and puck went into his midsection. That's going to be icing against Dartmouth, a face-off down in the Dartmouth Indian end. Dartmouth has got some good goaltending the last couple of years from J.P. Kearney, who I was very impressed with last year because he didn't have a lot of time before, but then all of a sudden he came in and played well. And this young guy right here, Ashton Machado came in, and you're always wondering about goaltenders because, over the course of years, the Indians have had great goaltenders, but they've also had good teams where all of a sudden somebody graduated and there really wasn't anybody coming up the ranks. And I don't care what kind of lineup you have, if you don't have goaltending, you are in trouble. But it looks like the Indians are in good shape because Machado looks like he's got a lot of experience. You can tell he's come up and played youth hockey and so forth. Kai Andrade into the offensive end. That comes Old Rochester through the neutral zone. Wing-to-wing pass. Here's Harrison Hughes. Stopped here by John Bichot. Puck bouncing in the slot area. There's a wrist shot through. That's wide of the net off the stick of Chase Couture. Now Luke Canner for Dartmouth. Puck still in the Dartmouth Indian end. Bichot can't clear it out. There's a wrist shot through a screen. And the shot goes wide of the net. Long rebound, Kai Andrade looks to move it into the old Rochester end. Had a chance to interview J.P. Kearney last year during that playoff run, and now a chance here for old Rochester. Shot wide of the net off the stick of Lucas Long. And I asked Kearney about that. He didn't really have a lot of varsity experience, but he got in there, got his confidence, credited his defense, his players, and the next thing you know, he was making some great saves during that playoff run. Here's J.C. Freights. Long pass ahead. Here's Howarth. Howarth loses an edge. Reed Martin behind the net. There's a shot out in front. They score! J.C. Freights. And it's 4-0 Dartmouth. Now that Dartmouth power line there got a day off against Durfee, but they're making up for it here. Terrific play here by veteran Reed Martin. Puts it right on the stick of J.C. Freights. And J.C. Freights is not going to miss from that location. Puts it right over old Rochester goaltender Thomas Galavati, and it's now 4-0 Dartmouth. Sam Caniff, wrist shot through, deflected wide. Sam Caniff across, Jamison Lima lays it down into the corner. Freights down behind the net. Here's Howarth. Tries to bank it to himself. Well, Rochester couldn't get it out. Lima across the Caniff. Caniff with a shot through. Kick saved by Galavati. Now Lima. Down to Howarth. Nick Howarth. Back to Lima. Lima down deep. Reed Martin. A passing clinic. Here's Howarth. Kick saved by Galavati. And the puck is iced here by old Rochester. Relentless pressure here by the Dartmouth Indians offense. We mentioned in that Durfee game, Coach Capello resting his top line there. Telling me before the game. So you didn't have Reed Martin, J.C. Freights, and Nick Howarth playing in the game. And so they were watching the game from up in the stands. And sure, when they knew that they were coming back here today against old Rochester, it was like, okay, here we go. And they have been all over old Rochester all game long. Kyle Charbonneau gets a stick in the passing lane there. Puck comes across to the near side. Moniz takes the hit that time from Chase Couture. Now behind the net, here's Charbonneau. Through the neutral zone. Stopped here by Govin. Govin with it now. Intercepted. Here's Charbonneau making a deke. Charbonneau looking for Moniz. Follow up here by Cullen Araby. Araby against Spencer in the corner. All the way across is Charbonneau. Down behind the net. Played out by old Rochester and chipped out through center ice. Now a chance here for Ben Austin. Kyle Charbonneau comes back to take it. Now here's a wrist shot through. Blocked in front. Now behind the net, Govin. Looking to move it out in front for old Rochester. Here comes Larrabee. Larrabee showing some speed as he goes hard into the corner. Follow up here by Joey Pacheco. Michael Tobin now. Ben Austin for old Rochester. John Bichot. John Gamache. Now Nelson loses an edge. Almost a break there by Govin, but he got a stick on it. Indians getting 3 goals in the first period and 1 so far here in the second. Only 1 penalty in the game. It was against Dartmouth, so Durfee was 0 for 1 on the power play, but they really only got 1 good shot on freshman goaltender Ashton Machado. Just Cullen Larrabee stopped. Jamison Lima up ahead. J.C. Freight slides it into the offensive end where Eddie Beacott controls. Up on the near side, Jake Drew. Puck played with a high stick, but the officials let it go. Center ice area, Reed Martin chips it ahead. Couldn't get it by Brady Beacott for the moment. 8:25 to go in the period. Old Rochester seems to have settled it down a little bit in the last 5 minutes or so, but Indians are still in command. Jake Drew through the neutral zone, right by everybody. And an icing against Old Rochester. Paul Santos along with you here on Dartmouth Community Media. I'm trying to think how long I've been doing the games, the hockey games here on Dartmouth Community Media. I think it's about 20 years. And then, of course, before that with Colony Communications and Channel 13. And somebody indicated to me on social media as the puck goes back to the point. Wrist shot through. Blocker save that time by Galavati. Who's pucking the slot? Galavati can control, gets a stick on it. And finally, Galavati makes the save. Somebody was saying that they remember some hockey games we did as far back in the 90s when Coach Govea, who is now coaching Stang, was coaching New Bedford High School. And I remember Bob Hayes here with Dartmouth. There's Caniff. Wrist shot through. Deflected wide. Glove by Galavati. It hit someone and changed direction, and Galavati had to reach back and make a save with a glove. There he is right there. He's seeing a lot of action. The difference between him and Opera, who played for Durfee, is the Indians have managed to put the puck behind them, especially with that top line playing. Pass up ahead. Spencer to Govin. Stopped by Dartmouth. Kai Andrade into the offensive end for Dartmouth. On the forecheck for the Indians, Charles Camisa. Charlie Camisa. Now it's played back, and it goes out of the zone on Bicho. Sam Caniff. Capillotti. Now a chance here. Wrist shot by Camisa, but down to make the save that time is Galavati. Galavati was in the butterfly and reached up and made the save with his glove. There's Galavati. He's seen enough rubber today, that's for sure. And there's the change of the goaltenders as Ashton Machado has put up nothing but 0 so far. He shut out Durfee, and he shut out Old Rochester so far as senior J.P. Kearney comes into the game. Here's Beacott through the neutral zone. Lost stick. Back to get it is Luke Caniff. Josh Nelson chips it out to center ice. Fired back in by Old Rochester. Lucas Long deeks into the offensive end. Long plays it back. Wrist shot through. Saved by Kearney. Now a follow-up shot. And it goes wide. Oh, what a chance there by Brady Beacott. Looked like it broke off of Kearney, but it still went wide of the net. He got enough of it to make the save. Behind the net, Old Rochester getting their best offense of the game so far. From the point, wrist shot through a screen. Saved by Kearney. Brady Beacott getting it down on net from the point. In the corner. Indians fight to move it out. Kept in here by Old Rochester. Another wrist shot through, blocked in front. Old Rochester with territorial play for the first time. Now another wrist shot through, deflected wide of the net. And it's cleared out by the Indians, and it will have enough to be an icing. So Old Rochester for about the past, minute and a half, been all over the Dartmouth net. And J.P. Kearney, the senior, just went into the game. There he is. And he's thinking, all right, get in there. We're ahead 4-0. There hasn't been a lot of pressure. And all of a sudden, Old Rochester was firing it from everywhere. A lot of deflected shots, too. So Old Rochester getting some offensive opportunities. Here they go again. Glove saved by Kearney. Alec Marsden, the sophomore defenseman, right off the faceoff, got it down on Kearney. And the Ins flip it out. That's Caniff looking for the home run pass to Cullen Larrabee. Almost had it. Sam Caniff behind the net. Jamison Lima. Back to Caniff. Now Lima behind his own goal. Larrabee at center ice. There's Sam Caniff. Wrist shot through, high and wide of the net. Lima tries to keep it in. He does. Joey Pacheco with the spin shot. Hard on the forecheck there, and a good job is Cullen Larrabee. Larrabee goes in for the steal. Great job of forechecking by Larrabee. Indians still have it in the offensive end. Rochester really had a hard time clearing it out as Pacheco with a terrific hit there on Jake Newton. Here's Lima. All the way around the horn it goes. Nick Howarth hard into the corner, and Howarth lays a pretty good hit in the right wing corner. And let's see if they'll get him for a cross check. I'm not sure. Howarth is skating in the direction of the penalty box. I do think that was a cross check. I'm going to call interference. I think Howarth, he was being aggressive, which you want to see, but when he went in there just a little bit too hard, and the referee is saying that the puck had already been delivered away. I thought it was more of a cross check than an interference, but Durfee is on the power play again. They are 0 for 1 on the power play. The Indians have not been on the power play today. Here's Govin. Down deep. Trying to make a centering pass here is Hughes. Behind the net. Quick centering pass. Stopped by Kyle Charbonneau, and he'll clear it out. Freights down there on the forecheck on the penalty kill. Chris Govin. Moving it out for Old Rochester. Brady Beacott. Back to Govin. Govin has some open ice. Govin with a shot. Saved by Kearney as he flashes the left pad. And a nice save by senior goaltender J.P. Kearney. Talked about Kearney last year leading the Indians to a South Sectional Championship game. Indians came very close to knocking off the top seed that day. Back to the point it goes. Wrist shot through a screen, and that goes wide of the net. Chris Govin at the right point. Lays it down in the corner. Trying to make a play is Couture. Back to the point. Austin. Now to be caught. Now Austin. Austin with a shot. Saved by Kearney. Austin. Down deep. Wide of the net. And a slice by the Indians. I think Old Rochester's done a good job getting the puck on net. Cullen Larrabee once again with a hard forecheck. Help John Gamache. Now here's Govin. Old Rochester into the offensive end. Brady Beacott. 20 seconds left on the Durfee power play. The puck is backhanded out here by Caniff. I thought Durfee did a good job there of getting the puck on net. Here's Freights. Score in the open net. Oh, bad mistake there by the goaltender, playing it up on the wing and then out of the penalty box. Not out of the penalty box, out of the bench came Freights. And Freights just threw it into the empty net. Take a look at this. Galavati went to throw it up on the wing. Look at this. Freights came out of the bench and just threw it into the empty net. Second goal of the night for Freights. And it's 5-0 Dartmouth. And the penalty is over. That actually goes down as a shorthanded goal. Centering pass. It's Howarth. Howarth makes a move in the slot. Saved by Galavati, and Galavati will hang on. Double check. I believe that's a hat trick for J.C. Freights. Fortunate play there by Galavati. I mean, he made the right play to go up in the wing, but then when he went to flip it out, he didn't get all of it, and all of a sudden Freights had an open net. So the Indians with 2 penalty kills here. Special teams, the penalty kill doing a great job. And as we mention all the time in high school hockey, a lot of times the penalty killers are the 2 top offensive players as well. You'll see Reed Martin out there and Howarth and J.C. Freights. So then what ends up happening is you got to be careful about the short-handed goals. They happen a lot in high school for that reason. There's Lima. Right wing corner. Pichot behind the net. Kai Andrade comes out with it in the slot. Saved by Galavati. He had to keep that left pad down, and One of the Durfee players is down. That's Alec Marsden. And a penalty coming up against the Indians. This is their third penalty. This is penalty against the Indians. And there's John Bichot in the box. I believe it was another cross check. So for the third time, Durfee goes on the power play. The Indians have killed him. Old Rochester now with the third time for a power play, rather. The Indians have been on the penalty kill now for the third time. J.C. Freites, he just levels Chase Couture. Delayed penalty. Thing is, you want to let Dartmouth touch the puck so they can get the 5-on-3, and finally a whistle sounds. J.C. Freites is on his way to the penalty box. 2 minutes for roughing, and this is going to give Durfee a 1 minute and 29-second power play. I wonder from the Durfee point of view if you call timeout right here. I mean, from the Old Rochester point of view, sorry. Zach Ledegar, the head coach of Old Rochester over there. Face off. The Bulldogs unable to keep it in the offensive end. Chris Govin down deep. Govin plays it back. Here's Ben Austin. Austin across. Beacott, right wing corner. Govin looking to cut to the middle. Govin almost lost it, and they almost had a Howarth breakaway. Ben Austin plays it across. Here's Beacott. Beacott with a shot. Glove saved by Kearney. He just got a piece of it. Now out of the corner, out in front. Here's Beacott again. Shot saved by Kearney. 45 seconds left on the two-man advantage. Here's Beacott again. Beacott to the net. Deflected up and out of play. And another offensive zone faceoff here for Old Rochester. There's senior goaltender J.P. Kearney. 15 seconds left here in the second period, so this 5-on-3 will carry over into the third, possibly. Old Rochester doesn't score. Face off to the left of J.P. Kearney. Back to the point it goes. Right wing side. Centering pass in the slot. Taken away. Larrabee couldn't clear. Checked at center ice by Ben Austin. 3 seconds left in the period. And that's going to do it in the second period. So in the second period, J.C. Freites scored from Reed Martin to make it 4-0. And there with 2:51 to go in the period, J.C. Freites scored again a short-handed goal to make it 5-0. So the Indians in control, but Old Rochester with 24 seconds left on a 5-on-3 and 56 seconds left on the power play overall to start period number 3. At the end of 2, Dartmouth 5 and Old Rochester nothing. We've got the third period straight ahead here on Dartmouth Community Media. All set for the third period here on Dartmouth Community Media. Paul Santos, glad to have you looking in today. Dartmouth in complete control with a 5-0 lead, and senior goaltender J.P. Kearney back in for the Dartmouth Indians. And they have a young coach over there, Old Rochester, Zach Ledigar. And got a little story about Zach Ledigar. Played hockey with my older son, Dylan Santos, who did some games here at DCTV. He's there on the left. And played many years with my son, Dylan, coming up through youth hockey. One of the great experiences. We went to Lake Placid and won the gold medal. And Zach Ledigar, a tremendous center, and my son Dylan played on the wing. And he had so much fun coming up the ranks. And then, of course, Zach playing here with Old Rochester, Dylan at Dartmouth High School, played against each other. But terrific young gentleman, and he is in the process of rebuilding this Old Rochester program. So a shout out to them and the Ledigar family. Puck slides in right now on J.P. Kearney. He's going to cover up and hang on. Quick whistle there by the official as Kearney tried to throw it into the corner, but no dice, and there's J.P. One more game here on Thursday as Dartmouth takes on Martha's Vineyard. Still 10 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Well, Rochester in the corner. Probably should just put one on net. Down low it goes. There's Govin. Now it's back to a 5-on-4. All the way across. Trying to set up for a shot. Wrist shot through a screen. Blocked in front. And the follow-up shot goes wide. Brady Beacott at the point. Now it goes behind the net. Quick centering pass out in front. Blocked in front by Kyle Charbonneau on a great defensive play. And now a breakaway. Here's Howarth to the net. And the puck goes wide. He was chipped all the way by Ben Austin. And the penalty is over. The Indians have killed 4 penalties. Now a chance here for Old Rochester. It hopped over the stick of Govin. J.C. Freights hard into the offensive end. Puck played down deep. Here's Reed Martin. Martin behind the net. Got a Kyle Charbonneau. That entire offensive line is going to be back next year for Dartmouth. Reed Martin, number 39, he is a junior. J.C. Freights, he's a junior. And now here's Freights. And an unbelievable save that time by Galavati. Nick Howarth is also a junior, so those 3 will play again next year. That's a scary thought for opponents because they're really clicking and they've been playing together. And they're going to be back as seniors next year. So a face-off here in the offensive end. 5-0 Dartmouth in the third period. And as we said, Dartmouth will be playing Martha's Vineyard on Thursday. Every year they put out a good team. They're usually pretty much on parity with Dartmouth and Stang. So unless they're a rebuild or something like that, it should be a good game. Larrabee. Nice to make the quick pass. John Gamache. Down for Luke Caniff. He went in deep. Spinning out with it is Alec Marsden for Old Rochester. Goes right by everybody. Josh Nelson goes back behind his own goal. Nelson. Well, that goes right by everybody. That's going to be icing. Yeah, most of the players that you see here, of course, a lot of them know each other. A lot of them played youth hockey with each other. And now that I see that Ledigar is coaching, I know he's been around a long time. But, of course, when Dartmouth played Stang, that was the big game, of course. They only played once for a long time. And then when there's Kai Andrade. Diving check that time by Carlin Spencer. Across it goes. Here's Jacob Kearney. Down behind the net. James Sharia looking to move it out. Yeah, Dartmouth and Stang only played once in the Dartmouth Christmas tournament. And there was a little stretch of time there where Stang dominated that. But then the Indians finally broke through when my oldest son Dylan was on the team. Corey Levamonnier was on that team. Nice check at center ice. Puck slides in, and then the Indians started winning, and it's been pretty much a 50-50 kind of thing. And then they started playing twice. And the Spartan Cup. So that has just been fantastic that Dartmouth and Stang plays twice. One at the beginning of the year and one's at the end of the year. Just phenomenal. Reed Martin now through the center ice area. Spins down, goes behind the net, throws it out in front. Collected here by Freites, who already has a hat trick. Off the side of the net. Collected by Govin. And Govin slides it through the neutral ice area. So yeah, well, the team's playing twice. And when they play, except this year because of the pandemic, you're talking about 1,200 people here in the rink. So this year, with the pandemic, we didn't have the fans, but we're happy that Dartmouth and Stang managed to play twice. Dartmouth won the first game 2-0, and the second game was a 3-3 tie. Nick Anderson into the offensive end for Dartmouth. Anderson cuts to the circle, and he's checked at the last second. Derek Govin back the other way. Hit that time by Moniz. Here's Freites. Indians have a lot of players that are not that big, but they got speed. Like, you get Reed Andre, J.C. Freites, Nick Howarth. They come onto the ice and, just see them kind of standing there. You're thinking, okay, small kids there, but then all of a sudden they're flying around the ice. Kind of like in the Brad Marchand mode. Small, but great speed and skill. Puck bounces out to center ice. Look at that Stang roster. They're not graduating a lot of players either. So next year, the Dartmouth Stang game, it's going to be another good one. Both of them, actually. And hopefully we'll have the MIA state tournament back. And Dartmouth and Stang will both be good teams to compete in the Division III tournament if it goes as expected. I was thinking about last year's run to the South Sectional Final. Think back about it now. Just barely got that in. The Indians got to the South Final game, and I think about a week to 10 days later, everything was shut down. We didn't know it was coming. And the puck is in the neutral zone. Here comes Couture. Taken away by Cullen Larrabee. Knocked away by Spencer. Stopped by Josh Nelson, who gets it behind his own net. Indians have played a solid game today. And again, collision as down goes Nelson as he and Govin collide. Nelson right back up and ready to go. Plays it up on the near side. Team's looking to collect. Played behind the net, Jameson Lima. Govin looks to make the body check. Here comes Cullen Larrabee. All the way across, deflected by Joey Pacheco, but couldn't get good wood on that one. And Nelson, a return hit there on Chris Govin. Used to say, take a number. Center ice, Jameson Lima. Stopped here by Michael Tobin. Tobin gets by Lima, cuts to the circle. Out in front, great save by Kearney. Off the stick of Ben Austin, great setup, and Kearney flashed the right pad to make a great save. And we have penalties coming up. Going to be a hit to the head, but watch the save here by Kearney. Flashes the right pad and makes a great save. And there he is, the senior goaltender. In the penalty box, number 22, Joey Pacheco, for a hit to the helmet. I believe this is the fifth penalty against the Indians. That's about the only downside, I would say, as Kearney makes yet another save. Bouncing puck in the slot. I mean, from the Dartmouth point of view, the Indians have played a solid game, but when you play good teams, you can't be in the penalty box all the time. Caniff clears it out. So that's about the only thing that I think the kids are going to hear from Coach Capello. Good, solid game, up and down. Number one line playing great. Goaltending played great. Defense and everything. But penalties, got to clean that up. As you can see in a game against Stang, right? You say you play against Stang or somebody like that and you have 5 penalties. Or Martha's Vineyard or Norwell or somebody like that, or Hanover. They will make you pay. You got to be aggressive, though. You got to be aggressive. But if you remember Coach Raleigh, great coach of the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs, I would say, what did you preach to the kids? You go, stay out of the box. Stay out of the box. Here's Govan. Save. Blocker save by Kearney. Kept in. Played down deep there by Brady Beacott. Bouncing puck behind the net. Tried a stuff shot, and Kearney saw it coming and smothered that shot from Hughes. That was a good play by Hughes, as he thought maybe he would stick it right in the short side. Now in the right wing corner. Govan plays it back. Wrist shot through, deflected high and over the net. You have a whistle. And it looks like another penalty is being called. This is the first penalty against Old Rochester. Official not happy there as he calls a trip against number 15, Harrison Hughes. So in 44 seconds, the Indians will have a limited power play. Be the first time that the Indians have been on the power play all night. Old Rochester has done a pretty good job staying out of the box, but the Indians have such talent on offense that they've managed to put the puck in the net repeatedly anyway. 4-on-4. Pass across. Intercepted by Alec Marsden. Marsden down the wing. Shot. Save. Rebound. Is it in? It is a goal as the puck bounced behind Kearney and into the net. And we'll have to see if Lucas Long gets credit for the goal. And it's 5-1. Kind of a fluky play there. Got to give Old Rochester credit for putting it on net. Like my sons like to play when they're doing color. You get it on net. As you can see, I think the goaltender there, Freites, was trying to backhand it out. Couldn't do it. And it is 5-1. It's cleared out through center ice. Maybe in the next stoppage of play we can see that again because I wanted to see who got that shot off. It is Reed Martin. Martin with a shot. Kick save that time by Galavati. All the way across it goes. Still playing 4-on-4. Intercepted by Reed Martin. Across it goes. Anderson. Martin. Down to Freites. What passing. Indians now on the power play for the next minute 15. Puck slid down here by Lucas Long. Stopped here by Josh Nelson. Long pass by Freites. Here's Reed Martin. Martin cuts to the net on a great move. Saved by Galavati. Oh, I'll tell you, Brady Beacott, he got caught with J.C. Freites. He went right around him. He gambled. You can't gamble with a guy like that. Alec Marsden getting credit for the goal that was scored by Old Rochester. Alec Marsden making it 5-1. Indians still pressing over here. They're on the power play. Chico down into the left wing corner. Behind the net, Cullen Larrabee. Teams trying to get control. Played back to the point, Lima. Bouncing puck. Down to Luke Charbonneau. Saved that time by Galavati. Galavati's made some good saves tonight. Seen a lot of action in front of them, but the Indians, of course, have beat him many times. Interception here by Austin. Ben Austin goes behind the net. Tried to cycle, but Larrabee moves it out. Larrabee was knocked down there by Couture, and the teams are now at even strength. The penalty's over. Redirected in there by Harrison Hughes. Jameson Lima behind the net. Larrabee up on the left wing side. Long pass up ahead. Looking for Charlie Camisa. Had a goal against Durfee, the only one. Pickpocketed there by the Hilltoppers and out through the neutral zone goes Carson Spencer. Kyle Charbonneau back behind his own net. Kyle drop pass there for Sam Caniff. Oh, and Kyle Charbonneau was leveled by co-captain of the Old Rochester Regional Bulldogs, Ben Austin. 2 minutes for high sticking. And the Dartmouth Indian powerhouse power play comes out. 4:12 left. Coach Capello looking to get that number one power play unit some work here. Sam Caniff plays it down to the right wing corner. Caniff has it now. Freights across. Open net. Charbonneau came hard in and was not able to put it in the empty net as Galavati was trying to go post to post. Freights in the corner. Here's Howarth. Howarth with a shot. Deflected high and out of play by Ben D. Mirandaville, the junior defenseman. Got the stick right in front. Deflected it up and out of play. 1:34 to go here on the Dartmouth power play. Reed Martin to take the faceoff. Back to the point. Here's Charbonneau. Score! Kyle Charbonneau with a nasty top shelf shot under the crossbar. It's a power play goal for Charbonneau. And the senior makes it 6-1. Puck went back to the point here. Sam Caniff is going to get an assist. And look at that, right from the top of the circle, under the crossbar. So that's a senior defenseman there. We got one more game left in the careers of the seniors. Now here's a chance here to the net. Oh, he hit the post. Luke Caniff. What a rush by Luke. And he went right down and made a couple of nasty dekes and then hit her right off the pipe. Caniff still out there in the right wing corner. Taken away here. Here's Moniz. Saved that time by Galavati with the right pad. Nelson gets drilled into the boards. And we have a penalty against Old Rochester. See if the official gives a signal. Official is going back. Maybe there is no penalty. All right, the whistle was blown. The official skated directly to the penalty box right after the hit, opened the door, then closed it, and then went back and dropped the puck. So I don't know if there was a whistle because the door was open or... Anyway, here comes Old Rochester to the circle, out in front. Hughes couldn't get the puck, and the net came off, so we have a whistle as the officials put the net back on. Every time I see the net go off, I think of a time when my oldest son was playing down in Barnstable, and a goal was scored by Barnstable, and the people who were yelling, including myself, I have to admit, from the stands, the net's off, the net's off. So then the official went over there and then plunked it back. The goaltender, Ryan McCarthy, moved it a foot to the right and plunked it back on and said, see, the net was off. And the official went, oh, well, we're still going to count the goal anyway, as the fans went crazy. Here's Jameson Lima. Tries to bounce it down. Couldn't do it. Puck goes behind the net. Blasted around here by the Old Rochester Regional Bulldogs. I did the Durfee game, and the Durfee uniforms, I mean, it's the same colors. Here comes Couture. Couture to the net. The shot goes wide. I think I called Old Rochester Durfee a couple of times, so just ignore that. Here's a shot. Kick saved by Galavati. Score on the rebound by Kai Andrade. Kai Andrade goes upstairs and makes it 7-1. Kai Andrade is a senior, been playing hockey his whole life. He's been showing some flashes out there. Look at that shot on net there, low like you're supposed to, by John Bichot. That's what you're supposed to do. Andrew pointed that out in the last game. You get the shot on net low, force that goaltender to make a pad save, and then the rebound came out and Kai Andrade put it away. As back at the other end, solid goaltender for the Dartmouth Indians. Making saves, J.P. Kearney. Actually, that one went in, and it's 7-2. still writing down the information from the goal, and Old Rochester came down and scored. One-man show over here. The puck goes down, and Caniff makes the save. Can't look down for 2 seconds. There's a chance here for Sam Caniff, but it goes down deep. Near side. There's a blast. Save by goaltender Galavati. As Nate Coppolotti got it on net. Puck goes behind the Old Rochester goal. Ben Austin. All the way down. Coppolotti. Taken away. Oh, almost a breakaway by Ben Austin. Center ice. Moniz. Out of the final 45 seconds left in the game. Here comes Govin. Slides it down on Kearney. Stopped by Sam Caniff. Cycles it out. Here's John Bichot. Intercepted by Ben Austin. Stopped by Sam Caniff. 30 seconds left in the game. Long pass ahead. It's going to be offside at the offensive blue line. So a couple of quick goals here by Old Rochester here in the third period. Gets them on the board. But that man right there, Coach Capello, has to be happy. He's got Coach Brian Rose on one side and Derek Martin on the other side. The other coach is Matt Grieve, Tyler Martin, and Andrew Medeiros. 20 seconds left in the game. Zach Lettergar, the head coach for Old Rochester, rebuilding the program that went to the state finals a couple of years ago. Getting drilled at the blue line there was Derek Govin. Physical play picks up in the final seconds, but that's going to do it. Dartmouth Indians defeat Old Rochester. Final score will be 7-2. Quick recap on the scoring. Nick Howarth from J.C. Freights to make it 1-0. Then it was J.C. Freights from Howarth, 2-0. Sam Caniff from the point, 3-0 at the end of one. Then the second period, 2 more goals by Dartmouth. J.C. Freights from Reed Martin, then J.C. Freights again, a short-handed goal to make it 5-0 as J.C. gets the hat trick. In the third period, Alec Marsden made it 7-1. Kyle Charbonneau from Sam Caniff, and Old Rochester scored again after that to make it 7-2. So we have one more game to bring you here on Dartmouth Community Media, and actually it's one last game that the Indians are going to play. It will be Thursday afternoon against Martha's Vineyard. We'll have the game live right here on Dartmouth Community Media. Final score again, Dartmouth 7, Old Rochester 2. I'm Paul Santos. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again Thursday when Dartmouth takes on Old Rochester. Good night from Headland.